Hello, I'm Daniel Hamby here with Wild Shot Camera, and I've got my wonderful wife Sonia sitting right with me.
Hello.
And we're gonna show you some drone shots that we shot with the DJI Standard Phantom 3. And we thought we'd give you some statistics of Hartwell Lake as we move along. What do you think?
I think it's a good idea. Most of you know that Lake Hartwell is a man-made lake, and Daniel's going to tell you a little bit about what's coming up right here.
Well, we were flying over there. We saw some ducks. And right before this shot, I've got some amazing shots of these ducks right in the middle of this cove. And after I flew this wonderful flight, boats racing down, fishing, all this stuff that was moving on and everything. And then I got landed. Then I looked down and guess what? I forgot my record button. So I missed it, so I went back over to shot again. So the ducks were still over there next to this boat dock over here. So,
However, he did miss those two boats that were going so fast, side by side across the lake. It was a beautiful shot, but at least we did get to see it in the viewfinder, but you missed it.
And you know what surprised me is these ducks was not afraid of my drone at all. They was doing a little bit of extra quacking, but I was kind of hoping they was going to take off and I was going to get this amazing shot following this duck. But anyway, that didn't happen. But as you can see, this is in Anderson, South Carolina. It's a big lake, and I'm going to let Sonia tell you some statistics about the lake as we're looking.
Well, Lake Hartwell is, as I said, a man-made lake. It's a man-made reservoir. It borders Georgia and South Carolina on the Savannah, Tougaloo, and Seneca rivers. Lake Hartwell is one of the Southeast's largest and most popular recreation lakes. The lake is created by Hartwell Dam, located on the Savannah River, which is 7 miles below the point at which the Tougaloo and Seneca rivers join to form the Savannah. It also extends 49 miles up the Tougaloo and 45 miles up the Seneca at normal pool elevation. The lake comprises nearly 56,000 acres of water.
That's a lot of water.
That's a lot of water. And the shoreline is 962 miles.
962 miles?
Can you believe that?
I can't.
I can't hardly believe it. The entire Hartwell project contains 76,450 acres of land and water. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, and here's something that I do remember. The boat ramp that we took off in is called Green Pond, and that road used to go straight down, and it came up on the other side of the lake, and there is houses and basically little villages and towns, part of the town under this lake. So they had to cover it up, and it's kind of interesting. You can kind of see how the road would have went right under the water.
It is kind of crazy, though.
And this is the double bridges.
It is. Isn't that beautiful? The clouds were so gorgeous today.
And if you look way, way out there, you can see a train trestle called the 6 and 20 train trestle. And it's a little bit hard to see from where we are. But this is a shot of Anderson back. And as you can see, the road I was talking about went straight down into that cove.
Did you know that I-85 bisects Hartwell Lake? That's what makes the area easily accessible to visitors. There was something called the Flood Control Act of 17th of May. And by the way, the 17th of May is the due date of our 5th grandchild.
Hey,
but that's
right.
For 2017.
Yeah.
But back in May, on the 17th, in 1950, the Flood Control Act authorized the Hartwell Dam and Reservoir as the second unit in the comprehensive development of the Savannah River Basin.
All right, and I'll show you right now what you're looking at is a view of the marina.
Isn't that pretty?
It's a huge marina, and they have several restaurants there too. That is really good.
They are. The galleys out there and Nami. Yum.
And they
yum.
hold weddings out there. If you need a good place for a wedding, it's a great place. Great place.
If you want some of the best sushi in town, go to Nami.
And look at the clouds. Sonia said, look, it looks good, the lake, but look at the clouds. So I zoomed up with my drone with the tilt, And these clouds really, I don't think could have been any more beautiful. What do you think?
I think they're so beautiful.
And this shot is headed down toward the dam. That's about, I don't know how long it takes to get in a boat. Some of you may know that, but I would say if I was guessing, you could be there in a boat in about 30 minutes, depending on how fast you're going as an average speed.
And if you know for sure, then you can comment. Okay, I wanted to tell you the estimated cost, this is what blew my mind, was $68.4 million. And that was based on a 1948 price level. So, with their preliminary designs, $68.4 million. Does that not blow your mind?
That's an amazing amount of money back then.
The original project provided for a gravity-type concrete dam, 2,415 feet long, with earth embankments at either end.
And one thing, that's why they call Anderson the Electric City, because it supplied power through the transmission lines all over the place.
There's a whole lot of information on the dam and the spillway and different things like that. Of course, you can look it up.
More detail on Wikipedia.
Yes.
And what we did right here at the shot, I went ahead and landed the drone and decided to go ahead and go across the lake over there at the marina. So now you're looking at a shot from the marina. I simply pulled up there, put the drone out, and saw a massive amount of birds that you're getting ready to see. I've so many birds, and it looks like they were fishing.
Man, this is crazy.
What?
The reservoir would cover 56,500 acres and would involve the relocation of 3 sections of railroad,
Ooh.
totaling 2 miles, the raising of 2 railroad bridges, construction of 6 sections of new state highways,
Whoa.
totaling 19.6 miles,
And
and 9 sections of county roads that totaled 12.7 miles. Isn't that crazy?
And what about this?
What?
Your daddy, Lewis Hensley, worked on some of those bridges
It is. It's crazy.
before you were born.
Yeah. The construction of 9 new bridges and the raising of 4 existing bridges and the relocation of 2 power transmission lines. That's just crazy to me. I think that's so cool.
It really is.
The construction of the Hartwell Project took place from 1955 and it was completed in 1963, 2 years before you and I were born.
That's right, man. It's amazing.
And we were both born right here in good old Anderson, South
Yes, we
Carolina.
have. And we were both delivered by the same doctor. Now, that's crazy.
Well, I want to tell you this. Lake Hartwell, guess what Lake Hartwell is named for?
So it's people's big heart?
Well, that would be good, but it's named for the American Revolutionary War figure Nancy Hart.
Oh,
She lived in Georgia, in the Georgia frontier, and it was her devotion to freedom that has helped make her name commonplace in the Georgia upcountry. A county, city, lake, state park, and highway, among others, bear her name.
what about that? Oh, Nancy. I bet she was a good woman, I bet.
She had to be. She had to be.
We were just talking about the trestle being called 6 and 20 Creek. I mean, 6 and 20 Trestle, and we couldn't figure out why. But go ahead and tell a bit more about that lake history.
Well, of the early lake history, I didn't actually realize this, but much of the land was inherited from the Cherokee Indians and from early settlers. I think that's really cool.
Did not know that. Thank you, Indians.
Many streams, rivers, and recreation areas have been named after these early settlers. That's where we get those names nearby, like Issaquena,
What about
a
that?
young Indian maiden who rode to Fort 96 to warn settlers of an attack.
Hey, you remember what 96 is? 96 was
Remember,
96
'cause it was
miles
96
from Clemson.
to
Well, 96.
Anyway, she warned settlers of an attack, allegedly named some streams. So Issaquena.
What about
Anyway, along her journey, she marked her travel by naming streams that she encountered for the number of miles that she had covered. Issaquena named 6 Mile, 12 Mile, 3 and 20 Mile, and 6 and 20 Mile creeks,
What about that?
which are still a part of the lake today.
Did not know that.
Look at Miss
Man.
Issaquena.
Man, she was special.
Yeah, I think she was.
Well, we're about to run out of video here. Tell a little bit about Clemson. People might be interested in that.
They had challenges to their construction The first was in 56 when Miss Eliza Brock and her daughter refused to allow workmen to come on their property
Ooh.
to begin clearing for the reservoir area.
Ah.
Oh man, that involved 103 acres of land that the government gained ownership of in June of 56.
No wonder she didn't want to do it.
Man, she never received the offer for her land,
Oh.
therefore refusing them to allow them on her property.
So what happened?
She eventually settled on $6,850 for her property.
Oh, man.
But the next challenge, the one you were talking about, took place in the late 1956 when
1956.
Clemson College objected to the damage that would be done to its property as a result of the impounded water in the reservoir, including plans that would flood Memorial Stadium. After countless meetings, Clemson finally settled on an agreement where 2 diversion dams would be built in the vicinity of Clemson College and rechannel the Seneca River. And of course, we know it is Clemson University now, and I guess we're talking about Death Valley.
I guess so. I guess so. Well, as we just passed through part of the marina, you can see some of the restaurants up there, and you can see where they have the weddings and things like that. And I'd like to give a little plug out to Beverly Harper. And if you need any real estate, to know anything about that lake with real estate, just give her a call, and she can lead you to the property you are looking for. And
Yes, she is really talented.
yes. But we appreciate you being here, listening to this today, and thought it would just be kind of interesting to give you a little bit of history of Hartwell Lake and a lot of stuff I didn't know. And it's really just neat to be able to look at it and see what surrounds us. We've been raised on this lake, and sometimes you take it for granted, but I don't want to do that anymore.
No, I want to tell you one more thing, if you don't mind.
Tell
They're
us.
having this big fishing tournament at Lake Hartwell today. It's high school tournament. We talked to someone out there about it, and they have like 74 boats in the water, and they're about to actually at 3 o'clock today. And this is actually February the 19th, 2017.
They're going to see who caught the biggest
They
fish.
are going to weigh them in. That would be an interesting thing to go see. But I wanted to tell you something else I just read. Fish heavier than 60 pounds have been caught on Lake Hartwell.
60 pounds.
60 pounds.
I bet that was near the dam. They say there's some fish about the size of Volkswagen. You know how fish stores
Catfish, yeah.
gets bigger, so
They get bigger, and a Volkswagen would be quite large. But I think that's so interesting. Also, 20 pounds is a size of fish that's common to be caught.
That's a big
and
fish.
that's a humongous
and
fish.
they have a lot of fish, fishing tournaments on Hartwell. So I'm sure you can find out more about that. But anyway, I'm glad to be a part of this, huh?
I am too. And we were talking about while we were out today, Sunday joy riding and enjoying droning a little bit, how blessed we are that we live right here in Anderson, South Carolina. It's a great place to live. You have got this beautiful lake that is right here in our own county. It's wonderful, and you can see the mountains from not too far away. You can get to the mountains, you can get to the beach, you can get anywhere within just a few hours.
Yeah, and you're only about probably a 14 minute drive right into the center of Anderson. And if you'll look, you'll see our car in the center of the picture right now. And I'm coming on down for a landing with this drone. And I will say that I do love this drone. And,
Yes, he does. I
and-
can vouch for that.
And we're going to go around shooting different things. And if you're interested, be sure and subscribe to our channel. And we'd love for you to come back and comment and talk about it, things that we're doing with this drone. And if you need it for hire, we are willing to shoot anything you want to shoot, like properties or anything like that, or car lots or anything. So we appreciate you being here.
Just give Daniel a call, 864-933-5329.
You have a wonderful, wonderful day. You can be happy.
It's up to
you.